Representative Gottheimer of New Jersey says a stimulus deal needs to be done before Christmas and then gives insight to how that might happen. You are not going to want to miss today's video. All right, hello and welcome to today's November 24th late night stimulus check and stimulus package update. I apologize for coming on a little bit late. I had some family stuff come up that I needed to attend to, but I'm here now to let you know what's going on. Now, Representative Tom Reed of New York, a Republican, and Representative Josh Gottheimer of New Jersey, a Democrat, from the Problem Solvers Caucus did an interview together where they gave insight into what's going on with the current stimulus package situation and what each side needs to do in order to get a stimulus deal done before Christmas, before the end of 2020. They both said they could then do more in 2021. So I'm just going to share some of the highlights. It was kind of a long interview, but I've researched and broken it down for my community. Now, Gottheimer was asked point blank, when will we get more stimulus? Now, as this question was asked, there was other things about, these fiscal cliffs and everything going on in the economy. And I noticed he started blinking a lot, which usually means somebody is getting very, very nervous. And his response was, we need to get something out before the holidays, right? Absolutely. Christmas is 30 days away. So they want something out before the holidays. He then said, House Democrats need to sit down with House Republicans and get something done. Well, Godoy, we know that, so why are they not doing it? Gottheimer then went on and said, I don't know how to say this any stronger. Now is the time to get this done. Now is the time to get more stimulus. So from the Problem Solvers Caucus, he's on the Democrat side, and he talked about how he is pushing his cohorts and colleagues on his side to get to the table, to start the discussions, to not go so high, to get something done that could actually be signed. So on his side, he's saying we are absolutely pushing to get something done before the holidays. And he said, I don't know how to say this any stronger, speaking to his colleagues. Get something done, right? Now, he said, right now, we need to stand by American families and small businesses. We know we can get something done if leaders will stop playing games. Now, I thought it was interesting that he said that in a public interview. This is a Democrat representative from New Jersey who is openly admitting, hey, I'm watching my political colleagues and they're playing games. They're playing games with people's lives. They're playing politics. They're putting politics before people. So he openly admits that in the interview. Gottheimer was then asked, why won't Nancy Pelosi agree to release the $135 billion? She says it is the administration that needs to do that, but it isn't true. It's Congress that needs to do that. Now, Gottheimer deflected the question, said, I don't know much about that. I didn't watch the interview, and didn't really answer the question. He just said that we need to be doing more to help American families. Don't these people know that right now, the only way to help is money, right? Like, I don't need a high five while I'm drowning. I don't need your well wishes. I don't need political talk. I don't need you to pretend like you have my back, right? People need money. They need food. They need help with rent. They need to get back to work, right? These are the things that they need help with. They need stimulus checks in order to pay back bills and future bills, right? So that's the help that people need. Now, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy said that he can't get people in office to sign off on releasing the $135 billion. He's been trying all weekend and today to get people to sign. He said they need to sign one piece of paper and it would release that money and make it available today. And he can't get it done. He then went on and said that before the election, 23 Democrats signed a document that they would sign and release that money after the election, and he said he cannot get them to sign now. Now, of course, McCarthy is a Republican, so he's probably using a little bit of the blame game, right? We've kind of become accustomed to this. But if he can't get those 23 to sign, like, you can't make that up, right? Like, if they won't sign, they won't sign. And so that money is not being released. That doesn't mean it won't be released, but as of right now, he's saying he can't get it released. McCarthy went on to say, I'm in Washington, D.C. right now. I'm waiting for people to sign. I have not gone home. Come and sign this and let's release that money so that we can help businesses and American families. He said, we could act right now, and I'm willing to act right now. McCarthy then went on to blame Pelosi, saying that she prefers nothing to something. Again, some of the blame game. Now, it is believed that $135 billion will probably go to small businesses, but they also have not 100% said that it couldn't be used for stimulus checks or that it couldn't be used for unemployment. Right now, it's not clear, but it is believed that that portion of the money that they have found would go to businesses. It's also not known right now what will happen with the $455 billion that Steve Mnuchin just received back from Jerome Powell. Now, to put this in context, they could give over 150 million Americans a stimulus check, and it would cost less than $300 billion. So $455 billion is a huge amount of money that they could do something with before 2020 is over. It's something that they could do something with before the holidays, right? So they need to do something with that. Now, on the Republican side, Representative Reed said that we need to do more than the $138 billion. He said it is our Problem Solvers Caucus that has been working to get Mitch McConnell and others back to the negotiating table. So he and Gottheimer have been pushing behind the scenes to get these guys back to the table. He said that he and Representative Gottheimer have been working with 8 top House leaders to get a deal done behind the scenes. Tom Reed then said, we need to do a stimulus deal that the president will sign. It probably won't be $2 trillion. So this idea of 2.2 or 2.4 or even $3.4 trillion is not going to happen, right? You need something that the president will sign. Reed then said before the end of the year, he thought that they could craft a bill in addition to the $455 billion that Mnuchin got back and the $138 billion that came back from the PPP. He said that he thought that they could craft a deal for around $1 trillion that would be signed before the end of the year. So he said it absolutely could be done. Now, inside of that, if the $455 billion is there and the 138 and the $1 trillion, that is around $1.6 trillion. There's room for stimulus checks. There's room for a generous amount of unemployment. There's plenty of room for helping with people that are behind on rent. So it's a good amount of money. He then said, this is Reed, if they will stop playing politics, I know the president will sign a deal. I've spoken to the White House, right? He says, I know that they'll sign this deal. Reed ended his segment of the interview by saying the most important part of the deal is doing something that will actually get solved. So, he said, let's not get too hung up on the numbers. Let's focus on what will each side of this triangle sign. That's what's important right now. And I couldn't agree more. All these proposals, revisions of proposals, meetings to discuss more proposals doesn't pay the American people's bills. It's releasing a deal that will actually get signed. They need something that the House of Representatives, the Senate, and the President will sign. If they don't have that, nothing will happen before the holidays. So they've got to focus on a deal that could get done. Now, Gottheimer then jumped back in and said, I agree with Tom Reed. What is critical is getting the leaders and administration back to the table and getting it done this week. Let's find an agreement and set aside politics. I think what he's saying is let's get everything together right now so that when you come back from the Thanksgiving break, we're ready to sign something. Gottheimer then said, it's time to get past the games and get something done. Reed then jumped back in and said, we don't just need money for businesses. We need food assistance. We need money, right? Stimulus checks. We need rent assistance. We need to help people get back to work. Reed then said, and pardon my language to my community, but he said, these political leaders need to do their damn jobs. I agree. All right, now many economists are saying that at this point, any stimulus package that does not include stimulus checks will fail and not help the economy. I'm just doing some research right now. A huge group of economists just put together a plan. I was in the middle of dissecting it, and so I'll bring you more information about that tomorrow. This is my update for today. There are still political leaders that are fighting for the American people, so please at least take heart in that. As there's more developments, I will share that, but this is what I know right now, and as I know more, I will share more. The 20 winners of my Thanksgiving giveaway were chosen and alerted via email. I will try to do a couple more giveaways before the Christmas season, as I know that many people are struggling. This is my update for today. I wish to remind you that you are amazing. I appreciate you being in my community, and I'll see you on the next video.